There they go, they're my Solomons. You think I'm going for a hunt, don't you? Well, you got some healing to do still, mate. That's still healing up, so you're not going hunting. That's what they were like after one alpine hunt. They didn't last very long, but I love them still. Did I buy some more pace? Yes, I did. Just yesterday. There they go there, mate. Check it out. You think you're going for a hunt, don't you? But look at this. He's still healing up from his fight with his son, Bigsy. So you're not hunting anywhere. Anyway, we're going to put those on now. I got those at the Macpac shop, and I also shouted myself these here. See those, Pace? They're mountain bike shorts, really good ones. Anyway, here you going, guys. We're doing a snap vlog. That means straight off the phone without any editing. And we're taking Pace for a walk over to Mapua. Get up, Pace. He loves it in the truck. Mate, you need to get out from underneath there, otherwise you'll be a squash duck. Come on, off you go. Ducky, that means you too. Come on, you're right under there, mate. You can't stay there, right? Away you go. This normally does it. All clear? Oh yeah, all clear. You wouldn't like it, mate. It's natural toothpaste. Don't lick me brush. Jeez. It's mint. You wouldn't like it. No, you're not putting that on you. No, you're not licking that. One of the dogs has taken a possum out of the garage and it's half eaten. I bet it was Poe. Good boy. You've possibly noticed in some of my videos that my teeth are quite black. Little bits on them. Get over there, Pace. This is because I'm on a new regime and I have to eat leafy green vegetables, particularly the dark ones like Swiss chard or silver beet if you're in New Zealand. Kale, bok choy, all of those. I have to eat it quite regularly through the day, like 4 or 5 times a day. Breakfast, smoko, lunch, and it's part of a new regime that I've been on for the last 7 months to arrest a disease that I have, and it actually reverse it, and it's exactly what's going on. It's not much fun. I call it ass food, but anyway, it's part of it, and it's working. I was at the medical centre at Mapua a couple of days ago after doing a 1 kilometre run, got my bloods done, and old Clay's he's back. Well, we've got a wee way to go, but I'm definitely miles ahead to what I was. And that's the reason the channel's been very slow the last 6 months as far as outdoor adventure goes, because I haven't been able to, I've been an invalid pretty much. Haven't been able to do much at all other than fart around at home and stuff. So as we slowly get back on the horse, excitement builds for what's going to be a bright future for next year. Anyway, we'll head on to Mapua and take this doggy for a walk because he's hanging to get out and do it. Good to get a bit of rain coming down too. Great for the veggie garden. It's nice through here. This is the detour. Marriages Road. Normally we go around the bay, but there's a slip and we can't get around there, so this is the way we go now until they get the road fixed up. Old ADHD Pace like never sits down in the car all the time. He's running around smelling this, smelling that, crying, dribbling. He just opened that window with his paw. He stuck his foot up there and did that himself. I didn't do that. He's a clever little bastard. Don't you go right outside there, mate. You stay in here. And we're going into the hairpin here around this corner. Hold on, Pacey boy, we're doing a sharp one, mate. Hang on. He's hanging on for dear life. That's a sharp one. That is a hairpin. You stay in there, don't you jump out, mate. You stay in. Constantly shifting all the time. Never happy just to be in the one place. He's a restless wee soul, that dog. He really is. You get back in there, Pace. You can end up outside. Come on back in, mate. It's a really cool way to store firewood, isn't it? Very new. I haven't seen that done before. Innovative is the word I was looking for. Those, I don't know where they come from. What are they, for spray units normally? But they've taken the frame and the plastic and use that as a roof. You put the firewood in the frame. Very clever. I've actually seen those things made into dog boxes too. Truth be known, you could probably make a small boat out of one if you cut it right, actually. Just the plastic. It would float, it'd work. I'm always thinking of ways of making boats because I'm setting this up for another challenge. I've got 2 more challenges planned ahead. I've got a primitive challenge and I've got I call it a bogan challenge. I was going to say bro challenge, but it's actually a bogan challenge. That means you make whatever you can find on the beach to survive. You go into, like I'm going to go on a beach. It could be in the bush, but the next one's going to be on a beach because there's fish in the sea right now. It's that time of year. Go onto the beach with the clothes you're wearing, and whatever you find, you make a hut, a boat, catch fish, and that's, you're allowed to use any materials at all. And the primitive challenge is the same one, except you've got to use only primitive tools. It means no steel, no string, no rope, no plastic, just the clothes you're wearing. And I've already done one, but I want to do another one when my health is back up, when I'm firing on all 6 cylinders. No, when I'm firing on all 8 cylinders. I'll be like a hybrid. I'll be 8 cylinders but with an electric engine to how do you do that? Well, you actually can be a hybrid. You can burn 2 types of fuel. You can actually burn ketones and carbohydrates, or sugar at least, but that means you've got to go into a faster state and then stay in for a long time, and then you eat your carbs, and as you switch over you're in ketosis, but you're still building, or at least burning, sugar. And that's a trick that people do to give themselves a boost when they're doing triathlons. It's quite clever actually, but it takes a bit of work and you've got to get it right, otherwise you can end up a bit crook. Currently cruising through Ruby Bay, not far to go. Pace is up and down all around in the car, aren't you, Pace, eh? Yeah, can't sit still. And now coming into the township of Mapua. And if you want to get your groceries, like your green groceries, you can't do better than that shop there. A whole lot of little dogs, you all start yapping. It's those wee dogs you got to watch out for. One attacked Pace the other day, didn't it, Pace? That's right, it did, mate. Pace, come. And we're into it. This is Aranui Road. Take note, place the rest if we need to. Little park in here. A few doggy smells. It's nice, isn't it? Don't know what they are, they don't have any smell. Back out onto Aranui Road again. When I first came to Mapua in the 90s, there weren't all these new houses around. It was very much, I mean, this is a brand new house just around here behind me, that one there. It's only popped up in the last year, that one. A lot of new houses. It's just become one of the biggest, like, mega places for people to come and live. And it used to be all cattle and sheep in the paddocks, but now those paddocks are all gone and there's houses. And in some ways it's a shame, because it was a really nice little country seaside village. But also, I've made a lot of new friends here too, so it's the way it goes, isn't it? It's just sad when you see agriculture land and where you're growing vegetables, or you're having animals disappear to people. But I guess they're going to live somewhere, so it was nice when it was a quiet little village. I used to enjoy it. That's a new subdivision down there, and you can see 2 houses going in already. There's actually a lot more than 2, there's a heap. My phone's a little bit wobbly right now. So this is Ewa Street, never used to be here. There is an Ewa Street further around, so I haven't been down here since they've done this. This all connects up, and this is part of that new subdivision. It's the first time I've actually walked down here. And all I can hear is builders working. 2 there, pan across, some new ones in front of us. Another couple there going up. And another one over here, which we saw from the other side before. And more will be going on that section too. I was talking to a mate a while ago in the building industry, and he said to me that actually they were making like 140 new homes a month, and now they've dropped down to 40. So I think it's coming to an end. I think people are actually realising with interest rates they can't afford to. It's actually cheaper to buy an existing home than to build one, because builders are expensive, and all the materials and the regulations and everything around is bloody expensive. So the market, I reckon, is going to drop. Just my feeling on it from what's going on, from what I'm hearing. He's a good little dog on the lead, Pace. Does really well. Aren't you, mate, eh? It's a nice subdivision. Some nice boats. Look at that one there, what a beauty. Actually, boats everywhere. Having lived in an old farmhouse for the last 15 years, renting it for 13, 14 years, now owning it, I do have a new kitchen and I do have a new bedroom, but the rest of it's pretty horrible. When I look at these new flash homes, I think, wow, it must be nice to have a really brand new home all round. But to tell you the truth, I'm way more happier living in a paddock, 10 acres of land, than living in suburbia like this. It would wreck my head. Imagine being that close to everybody. Good guard dog, he's doing his job well, isn't he? Guard dogs everywhere. A nice house for you. We're going to cross the road because there's a dog on that side, and the rain's starting to come. I think it's just a sun shower. I don't think it's going to rain too much, but we'll keep going away from the truck. We get caught out in the rain. It's actually quite warm, it's summertime. and it's nice. It smells nice. People have got a lot of flowers in their garden growing. You can smell it walking down. You can smell roses and all sorts of really beautiful plants. It's actually quite a beautiful street, this Iwi Street. Really is. It's done well. I guess that's the thing, if you live in a place like this and you've got neighbours on either side that have good gardens, and if you let yours get overgrown, you kind of stick out like dog's balls. You've got to really keep it up, don't you? I would stick out like dog's balls because my garden gets cut, like the grass gets cut when I get round to it, and sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's not. I wouldn't fit very well in the street at all, really. They'd probably give me a boot up the bum. What's really cool is these little stalls that people put out selling stuff, plants you can buy. It's very typical in New Zealand. In my community we've got quite a lot of people that do that, and that's where I get a lot of my seedlings from. I do buy them from the big stores too when they're on special, but a lot of people with their home stalls and their self-seeded stuff, it's good to buy and support, and you never know quite what you're going to get. Sometimes you get a good surprise. I actually like a lot of these older homes. They've got more character, I reckon. Just me, I mean everyone's got their taste, but I like the character. New Zealand is a country where people are almost obsessed with owning their own home, and I hear a lot of young people today saying New Zealand, oh, I'll never get to own a home because I've been squeezed out of the market. And it's true, my kids will struggle to own their own home. And what I would say is, it's not the be and end all owning your own home. I rented for a long time and I was happy, and all my mates in Europe never dream of owning their own home. They all live in apartments and they're happy. They're happy in their apartments. They live in them and have great lives, and they don't have responsibility. Owning a place is a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. It's not always how it appears. It's not the greatest thing. The greatest thing is just doing what you love every day and being happy with it. And when I was renting the old farmhouse, I was just as happy as I am now. It was no different. Just did my thing, and now I've just got the responsibility to look after a bit, of which I don't particularly look after very well, as I said before. So yeah, I don't think you should get too hung up if you're one of those people that says I've been squeezed out of the market. Just be happy to be in Aotearoa, because we've got everything on our doorstep. Speaking of, we've just got the seed right in front of us right now, and that growing is bamboo. And I did think about it for making a primitive boat, because there's chambers in there. The trouble is, you need it about that thick, and to cut it is virtually impossible unless you've got piano wire or a very good saw. You won't cut it with primitive means, that's for sure. The Mapua Leisure Park formerly was a nudist camp, and as a young man, as a teenager, I couldn't get here fast enough with me mates. We used to bike here on the weekends and play tennis in the nutty. It was hilarious. Two hairy balls on the same old racket. I'd come down here and there was a beautiful woman, well, girl, because I was 16 and she was 14. Her name was Marion Hanson, and her parents owned the park at the time, and I was in love with her. And we dated. I think the most we ever did was we sat on that point over there and we held hands and kissed. That's about as far as things went. And tragically, Marion, she took her own life. She committed suicide a bit later on, and I was in the North Island when I heard about that, and my stepmother told me, and I was just heartbroken. I wrote a song about her. Hey, I want to show you an old boat that's quite cool. How about that there? She's done a day. I see it's got an old cassette player inside it there. An old wooden hull boat. Now this here is a really interesting flax. Look at the flax wood. It's actually known as clatty as well. But this is the best thing for making a raft out of. It's light and it's like balsa wood. It does take the water in, but I reckon if you cut each end and you put pine sap on it, you could probably stop it from getting too waterlogged. So that's a very interesting type of flax, a bit different to the normal one that I'm using. Also known as, it's completely gone out of my head, the Maori name for flax. It'll come to me. I've said it 1,000 times. I know what the Maori name for the rope is you make out of it. That's muka. But I can't. It'll come. Comment below, because you know what I'm trying to think of if you're a Kiwi. 99% of you will know. I do know it. I just can't think of it. A brain fart. Anyway, we are at the sea, or the inlet, and the tide's going out right now. I've caught some fish in here, out in the channel. I saw it and then the name came to me, Harakiki. Harakiki. Correct me on my pronunciation, is my Maori right? Harakiki, is that the right way to say it? I get corrected by my children quite regularly because they learnt that at school. We didn't get very good education when I was a kid on proper pronunciation of Maori words. Well, that's where my mate Tim lives, and what a place, eh? What a beautiful place to live. That's the view for Tim. Magic. And Tim's one of the real good bastards in our community, he really is. He's a bloke you can rely on. He's done a lot of work for the boat club, and he's one of the people, if I got in trouble with a boat, I'd be contacting, because he knows his stuff. And yeah, just a general good bugger all round. I'm really loving these Solomons. So 4 muscle buoys and you've got yourself a really good raft. You could put an outboard on the back of that transom if you had a transom. Brilliant. Someone's put a bit of a seat here. Don't mind if I do. So when you get new boats, one of the things to do is to walk them in before you go hunting or hiking. And I reckon 20 hours minimum. The orca come up here, right up here, and they feed on the stingray. In the distance you can see the ferry, the other one that my father built. Geez, these folks got a pretty flash retaining wall. A pretty awesome gate too. Beautiful home. And having a beautiful home in a real public place like this means that you do have a lot of holiday makers come during the holiday season. So while it's beautiful now, during the mad time, there's a lot of, you know what it's like, people on the piss, young people doing dumbass things, and that's part and parcel to it. Nothing comes without some sort of, I don't know, there's pros and cons, isn't there? Hey, check this out. How beautiful. Lovely, isn't it? That little cottage up there, they've used stones for their chimney. How cool's that? Not too far away from the destination I wanted to go to, which is the Wharf. But let's give these guys a bit of free advertising, eh? It's Wobbly's business, I believe. There's a number if you want to come and stay in Mapua. I can't think of a better place to stay than right here. That'll be your view, right out there. Give them a call. Come on, Pace. And there we've got the Golden Bear. Great music. He has music all the time there, Jim. Awesome music in there. I've played them myself. And a few kids playing around here. The Jellyfish Restaurant, good tucker. The channel, the Mapua Boat Club. My father gave 700 hours of his time to building that. Tim also helped, and so did a lot of other members, but Dad did the bulk of it, building it. And she's a nice wee club, and Dad's now an honorary member. Pit stop, the toilet. That's Bullivant Island, also known as Crazy Horse Island, and I've got a video where I camp on that with my daughter, Hannah. The open sea's way out there. And I'm just about ready to wind up this vlog. This is our little museum, and it's really interesting in here. Something I'm really passionate about is the Maori artifacts. I come in here and look at them quite often, and I think about how long it would take to make something just like that there. Smoothed on their skin. Really, really cool. I get a lot of inspiration from this, I really do. And there's the argillite and the flint that they used to make. A lot of that comes from D'Urville Island. There's the old wharf how it used to be. That would have been one of the biggest boats ever to come in here, I'd say. A lot of these were steamships and also scows. My father used to be on the scows. It's a flat bottom boat. Old steamship there. That's the Mapua Wharf in 1921. Still there, Pace? Do you think I left you, mate? No. Hey guys, I'm going to finish my snap vlog here off the phone. Down there's Hamish's. That's where Cuzzy works at Adventure Dan's business. And right now the Mapua ferry is pulling away, going to Rabbit Island, taking some more people over. My dad had great vision. He built 2 of these, and it would go from there over to there and back, and it still operates today. I could film a lot more about it, but I'm going to concentrate on Pace, taking him for a walk. Hope you enjoyed the vlog. Be good, can't be good, be careful. I'll see you in the next one. See you later.